What is up, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. So today we're talking about the 2024 full Tacoma EV. We know it's on the way. Last night I started really researching what we know so far about the 2024 Tacoma EV, and there's 5 very interesting things that I wanted to talk to you guys about. And I figured, you know, where would be a great place to shoot this video? And I can't think of a better spot than the actual place where people are going to get robbed blind for these Tacoma EVs, and that is your local Toyota dealership. So actually, in all reality, I actually had to come by to pick up a fuel filter for the T100. They called me and said it's in, so I just stopped by. It's like 5 o'clock, almost 5 o'clock, beautiful time of evening. I'm in no hurry, which is pretty rare. I'm usually like always rushing with stuff, but I got nothing going on. So let's go see what kind of deals they got going here while we talk about these 5 interesting things on the 24 EV Tacoma that we know so far. You know, everybody wants Toyotas, right? Probably one of the hottest vehicles in the market. Toyota of Santa Cruz, you can come in here and buy a Raptor. Was 81, now 79. Let's see how many miles are on this thing. 11,000 on a 2021 Raptor for 79. Sorry, my loyal Toyota people, that I'm even looking at a Raptor, but that's pretty interesting to see this thing here. I would think that they would push that thing off to a Ford dealership or something. 2024 EV Tacoma, 5 things that just jumped out at me that are going to be very interesting about this truck. First things first, I love me a stock Toyota, factory Toyota, whatever you want to call it, but the lifted ones really get my attention, and I mean really get my attention, especially a good 6-inch lift on one of these trucks. And I don't think you're going to be able to lift an EV Tacoma like you are regular engine, solid rear axle, gas powered one. And so that's going to pose a big challenge. And let me tell you what, if Rough Country comes out for a lift for an EV Tacoma, I'm going to give you a warning right now, don't do it. It's going to have to be a pretty good system for me to be into it, but it's definitely going to cause some major challenges as far as how it's going to work to lift an EV truck. Look at this, you guys. We got a 2022 Tundra Limited. Oh, this thing is used, 4,800 miles, 72,995. Holy smokes. Let me pop in here and get this filter, and then we'll get on with this video. They called me earlier and said this fuel filter was in. Some lady called me, and now she said it's a mistake. It'll be here at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. All right, whatever. Oh God, look at this. You know what's weird is I'm not very picky, and I respect everybody's style. That is absolutely hideous. Do you guys think those things are bolted in? Even if the truck was lifted and had big tires, there's no need for that. Oh, that is terrible. It's probably why it was traded in. Oh, at least it has that neat thing right there. Let's see here, what do we got? 21,000 miles. It is 4-wheel drive, 46. This is a cool truck right here. I actually like these little, oh, it's 4-wheel drive too. 2017, 4-cylinder, 4-wheel drive, 29. I like that layout. Getting super sidetracked here. Okay. So number 1 super interesting thing about the 24 Tacoma is going to be how you are going to lift it, what the suspension is going to be like. That is definitely going to be something that I can't wait to find out more about. Second thing that is pretty interesting about the 2024 Tacoma that we've seen is that they're actually going with exterior door handles for the access cab model. They've never done that before. They're always inside the door, finally going with an exterior door handle for the access cab. So it kind of changes up the look of it, and it looks even more like a baby Tundra. So crazy how many used vehicles there are here. Just have rows of RAV4s, rows of Tacomas, 4Runners. Are these people who traded them in? Are these people that couldn't afford them? I wonder how they all get here. I'm sure they all have a unique story, but let's move on to number 3. The third interesting thing is, look at, if you look in the background of this picture right here, and this is Toyota's vehicle right here. So it's not like this is some random person's speculation, but it looks like they're going with an F-150 style rear window, if I'm not mistaken. It's like a full solid back window with just the cutout of the glass. It'd be nice to see them try something new with the back window. Now, we all love the Crew Max back window that rolls down all the way, and the Tacoma will never be able to match that. This is the Grandpa Special right here. Has the color matched camper shell. I gotta say, that color does not match. It's slightly. 18,000 miles, 4-wheel drive, 41. Whoever owned it upgraded to some Falcon Wild Peaks, and they actually did the spare tire also. Number 4 thing that is interesting about the new Tacoma is going to be that it's going to have completely different suspension. You can actually see a link on the rear axle of the new truck that is pretty much similar to this link that's found on this 4Runner right here. And as we know, this has coilover suspension on the 4Runner, so wonder if it's going to have an electric setup more like the Rivian or more like the new F-150 Lightning, which I want to mention something. Number 1 was the suspension, and there was a video recently where they did put like a spacer lift and a little bit bigger tires on a Lightning, and it dropped the range from like 240 to 186. And that's one thing that's interesting is these EVs, and it doesn't matter what application, they are so sensitive to any changes outside of factory specifications. Whether you're towing, if you change anything, add any weight, they just do not handle it well. And so that is going to be another thing. I think in a stock form application, the new EV is going to be fantastic for the Tacoma, but I think people who want to take it off-roading, do extreme things, add a lot of weight to it, overlanding, it's going to be an issue. But again, we'll have to see. We'll have to see how that goes as we get more information. So number 5, interesting thing about the new Tacoma EV is that it's going to have a frunk. That is right, you guys. For those of you who are familiar with a frunk, you already know what it is. But what a frunk is, it is the front trunk, and that means that on the new Tacoma, underneath here is just going to be a big storage area, just like the new F-150 Lightning. There's going to be nothing there. I mean, how cool is that? You're going to be able to open it up, put all your groceries in there, keep stuff secured, stored. It's going to be pretty big. So for big bulky items, you know, if you're like going to go on fishing trips or a ton of stuff, then no, you're still going to need, you know, camper shell, tonneau cover, something, you know, if you're going to secure it in the back. But it's going to be pretty amazing to have that much storage up front. That is going to be really cool. I don't know if people out there are going to love the frunk or not use it or whatnot, but there is no mistaking the full EV Tacoma will have the frunk. And that is going to definitely be an interesting thing to get used to. I'm sure people like me who've been driving gas-powered vehicles for years, a hard time remembering the frunk is even there at first. All right, you guys, we did the countdown. I think it's almost about time to get out of here, but you know what? One thing I've always liked are these regular cab Tundras. I really like these regular cab short bed Tundras. Now, in a four-wheel drive application, they are perfect. This looks like pretty work model-y, but $19,995. Let's get the specs on this thing. We got a 2013, 158,000 miles. That is really weird to see a dealer selling something with 158K, $19,995. You guys, I think this truck was like $26,000 new. So somebody bought it, drove it 160,000 miles. I can't even imagine how much they took this thing in on a trade-in. They probably gave the guy $8,500. The side, I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's just waved out. Thing's seen some use, not some hard use, but I don't think the camera's picking up on it, but it's pretty bad, actually. There are dings everywhere on this thing. But you know what the dealer's probably thinking, hey, we put new tires on it. We put Yokohama Geolanders on it, so add at least 10,000 in value. 158,000 miles. Wow. 158,000 miles, you guys. You can tell the car market's getting interesting when you're seeing vehicles with 158K at the dealer, at a Toyota dealer. I would say 5-10 years ago, the cutoff was probably 80,000 miles. Anything over 80, dealers didn't even want it on their lot. Now 158K. All right, well, I guess we'll be coming back tomorrow for our fuel filter. We're back at the Sequoia, and you know what's interesting is I got sucked into those videos, those YouTube videos that are like, you're from the 80s if you remember this, or you're from the 70s if you remember this. 5 things that we don't do since the 80s. I don't even know. There are a million of these videos. I started watching one the other day, and it was 5 things that we used to do in the 80s that are no longer acceptable. And I was thinking, I can't think of one. And then the first one was hitchhiking. And I go, yeah, okay, that's true. And the second one was being in the back of trucks. It was so accepted in the 70s to put, it doesn't matter if it was your kids, to put people in the back of vehicles, that the Subaru Brat right here, this is absolutely factory option. We got, I don't know what they call them, rally seats or something like that. And look at that, they actually have seat belts too. So there's factory seat belts, lap belts, and then you hold on to this. I mean, that thing looks like it should be on like a joystick on an arcade game or something. And yeah, you put your loved ones back here, and I mean, can you even imagine how quick you would die? I mean, and then look at these Inkies right here. This is a 135/70/13. That is a 13-inch wheel right there. That is so crazy. But anyways, so this video, yeah, they were talking about the 5 things, and you know, unfortunately, I can't remember what the other 3 were, but one of them was hitchhiking, and the second one was riding in the back of trucks, and I used to ride in the back of trucks all the time. We didn't even question it. We didn't talk about it, the dangers or anything like that. But yeah, so they sold this thing right here, Subaru Brat. If anybody's out there is familiar with one of these or had one of these or your aunt had one or something, definitely leave a comment down below. Look at this, Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk, parking permit 2004. So yeah, this thing looks like it's been a local vehicle. And I don't know if someone's driving it or it is just sitting here, but it looks like a little micro machine in front of the Sequoia right there. I love 80s stuff. Brat four-wheel drive. Oh no, look at that. Look at the registration. 2004. 2004, you guys. Why is it here? Right, you guys, that's gonna wrap up this video, but I seriously just wanted to say that last night I was on the couch reading all these articles and researching and investigating and learning as much as I could about the 24 EV Tacoma. It's gonna be a whole new ballgame as far as how these trucks operate, function, and everything about them. And I'm super excited to be here to check it out. So Toyota, I can't wait till you start releasing more information on this vehicle. But until then, I guess we'll just keep putting dinosaur juice in our vehicles. Anyways, you guys, if you're new to the channel, definitely consider subscribing. Everybody, big old thumbs up, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace.